are recording here with my brother Kalvin. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon. So we brought our Pokemon connoisseur. When we brought up the idea of doing I immediately thought of Kalvin because the Trivia Crack app came out, and there's like one of the Trivia Crack apps, and one of the sections was Pokemon. And I thought I'd be able to handle Kalvin, but he just smoked my butt. I did not know half of them. So from then I was impressed, and I was like, we need to do Kalvin because I think he's got more knowledge than I thought he had. But how you guys doing?
Good, man. We have already done the Zelda pillar, I guess you would call it. I guess you would say Nintendo has three main pillars: Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda.
Yep.
So this will be our Pokemon episode. So this is going to be a good one.
For sure. I'm super excited for Pokemon. I think we all grew up on it, and it's just going to be cool to see a little bit older aspect of Pokemon because Kalvin's a couple years older than us. And I don't know, it's going to be awesome. I'm doing great. About to move here in a couple weeks, so episodes might be a little spotty on me, but we'll try to get them done. But yeah, doing great. Been enjoying having a week off. Well, how are you doing, Kalvin?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Sorry. I was kind of waiting for the moment, and I was like, maybe not. No. Okay, we're good.
Got you.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Can't
It's
complain
awesome.
about much.
It's awesome having you back. It's been about 2 or 3 months about now since we've had that magic episode.
Yeah.
You are
I think so.
first guest on for a second time. Do you feel special?
A little bit. Especially with topics I actually enjoy talking about. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. I was gone for that last episode, so it's nice to be here this time.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I was busy.
And we're going to have you on soon for Valheim episode. No one else to bring on.
That's true.
For sure.
So let's get straight into it. We are all curious, as you are quite a bit older than us. You were able to experience the start of Pokemon, and we're curious just how that was as a kid seeing Pokemon come to life.
Yeah, no, I mean, so the first cards that I received, it was the original generation, and it was the first theme boxes. It was either my birthday or Christmas, I can't remember, but I got the 2-player starter set theme box, and then the Overgrowth, which came with Bulbasaur and the green. And that was the very first card that I received, and I remember, so Bulbasaur was my very first Pokemon card. And I think, that was seriously, 96 or so? Because I believe 95 is when they first were released. But man, that thing, it was everywhere when I was growing. We had binders full. Everyone was taking them everywhere. You wouldn't see a kid without a binder full of Pokemon cards, It was a pretty big deal back then. It still is, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But when it first came out, it was just this, because I remember, I think in middle school is where they started, it was like Pogs. It got so big so quick that they started banning it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
people would get super angry and stuff about that.
Yeah.
I had kind of a similar thing from with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, is they just started saying no. Yu-Gi-Oh cards and marbles, you couldn't bring them anymore.
Wait, what's a Pog?
A Pog? Really? You don't know what a Pog is? It's those little cardboard discs that you have a stack of them, and the whole point of it, so like if you and I were playing, each one would put in 10 Pogs, and then you'd take turns hitting that stack with a more heavier Pog, and if you hit the stack and they flip over, you get to keep those Pogs.
I have no idea what that is.
You've never? Oh wow!
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
Oh my gosh!
Anything.
Oh, wow!
So when you said 1995, you got to remember this, Kalvin. I was born in 95.
I get it. That's nuts.
Yeah. So when you're introduced to Pokemon cards in 96, that's when Carter was born, right? In 96.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were
awesome.
infants. So were you introduced to the cards first or the games
Oh
first?
yeah, 100%. So if I remember right, I don't think the game. So the games came out in what, 96, but it came out in Japan first. You know, the red, blue, and
Oh,
green or
gotcha.
whatever. And I believe the first red and blue game came out in 99 for the original Game Boy, if I'm correct on that. So, but I never really owned the original Game Boy, so my first handheld was the Advanced. So
Yeah.
my first game I ever played was Leaf Green, and that was my jam. Leaf Green and Ruby, I think, was the
Gotcha.
other one. But
Okay, so
99.
I'm pretty much on the same wavelength as you because my first game I ever beat on my own in my life was Pokemon Ruby.
Okay. Yep.
So, yeah, that holds a special place in my heart. Like,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
first game that I was like, no, I'm playing this by myself. And then again, my brothers probably helped me still here and there. But, like, I felt so good finally beating that game.
Yeah. Good times, man.
So why do you recall, since none of you guys watched it or played it, why was there such a big jump to the cards? They were just cool.
What do you mean?
Like,
So,
why did you guys care about the cards if you never?
I
So let
have
me-
no idea.
You have no
Yeah.
idea.
It was. I don't know. It was just seriously. It was a phenomenal. I mean, a phenomenon. It
I
was
feel
just-
like, I feel like when some like group of kids start doing something, it just immediately gets popular, and then every kid has to do it. Because think back in 2017, Fortnite, like
Yeah.
just this small group started, and then it exploded. I think it was the same thing with Pokemon cards. Is it just exploded, and everybody had to have them. But I don't know.
and
like that-
I mean, I can guarantee I never thought it would get to the point that it is today. You know,
Yeah.
it blows my mind to see where it's coming. You know, it's crazy.
Well, thinking about like what cards we had and stuff, like I can recall that I probably had a holographic Charizard at one point in my life. But it's probably like in a wet, soggy pocket of my 5-year-old self, just because I didn't know what the value of it would be.
Oh yeah.
Well, then again, I'm a kid, so like it's just in my pocket. I'm ready to go play with it or show it off.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, I remember the first Pokemon battle I had. It was. I even remember who it was against, and I won't say his name, but it was a Meowth versus my Mankey, and I took him out, and that was my very first Pokemon win, and I got to keep his card. And then I still have probably about 100 of the original Pokemon cards from when I was younger. I still have them, but you know they're beat up, they're
Yeah.
tore up and stuff. But I still got them. They're in a little box, and it's fun to look at them. But
I think my mom ended up throwing them away or giving them away at one point.
oh yeah,
Because she literally had like I don't know how to explain this to the podcast, but it's literally this box and probably had like 100 cards or whatever in it. And at some point, when you're a parent, I imagine things just disappear and you just don't think about it anymore.
Yep.
And so when I say something like, "Where's my Pokemon cards, Mom?" She's like, "What are you even talking about? I don't even know what that is."
no, it's true.
Yeah. For my cards, I remember, I think it was you, Colin, that we both took my
Yeah.
cards and like we put them in like stacks of 10 and wrapped rubber bands around them, and we were planning to sell them at like our local
Summerfest.
town's festival. And we figured out that we needed to be a certain age and we needed to get permission from the city hall, so we just gave up on that idea. But I think after that, my mom was like, "I'm going to get rid of these cards anyway." And so after that, I didn't see them ever again. So
Mhm.
I think that was when they disappeared. But I don't have any of the original cards I had anymore. Wish I did.
Same. So, you said your first game you ever played was Leaf Green, right?
Yep, I think yeah. Yep.
Who was your first starter? This tells a lot about a character.
Ah man, my first starter ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I mean, it was Bulbasaur, straight up,
Okay.
if I remember right. Oh yeah.
Worthless.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm kidding.
it would take out Brock in an instant. So
Oh,
shut your
yeah.
mouth.
And
That was-
Misty. Brock and Misty.
100%. That was the reason. I mean, besides Bulbasaur being my first Pokemon and my favorite, you know.
Oh, he's your
It was-
favorite too?
Well, no, well, at the time. So
gotcha.
But well, yeah, definitely. When I was younger, I was all about the grass type. So my favorite starter was probably Chikorita. I friggin' loved her. Or I always called her, but I thought it was the most adorable thing in the world. And then, so I always had her and Bulbasaur, but I mean, mainly now I pick fire no matter what they look like.
Mhm.
It always seems to be harder to find a fire Pokemon to begin with, and you're always fighting bugs and grass anyway at the beginning, so.
Might as well, right?
Yep. But this last one, or not this last one, but oh my gosh, not Sword and Shield, the last one.
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, yep, Sun and Moon. I did pick Rowlet that time.
Yeah.
Because of the duo, because he was, what was he, flying and grass? So I thought that was a pretty good little combo. So I did pick him. But
that's, to tell the truth, that's my brother's favorite Pokemon is Decidueye, the final evolution of that.
Oh yeah, no. I think he's got isn't he
dope.
Grass and Ghost or something like that?
Something like that. Or Dark.
Yeah.
What are they? Yeah. So I don't know if the other two remember theirs, but I remember my first starter Pokemon was in Ruby, and it was 100% Torchic.
Yep.
So I don't think it's nowhere near like my favorite Pokemon anymore, but like I don't know. I feel like I had like 2 or 3 fire Pokemon on my team in that gen because I just loved fire. It's like it's just better than everything because it's fire.
It really is. After you look at it, you're like, why did I choose water? And they were so abundant. Grass and water Pokemon are pretty dang abundant. So it's really easy to get one. But having a strong fire at the beginning of the game, man, it was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Well, I chose the hard route because my first game was Pokemon Crystal. I was just looking up because I forgot the title. But I played Generation 2 on like the old Game Boy.
Yep.
And my first starter was Totodile. And I didn't really play that one that much, but I remember getting home from church every Sunday and just like getting on that all the time. But my big first Pokemon game was Ruby. And my first starter on that was Trico. So I think Trico is like my biggest starter as I got into Pokemon. But as I stuck with water Pokemon as I kept going. So I never really picked the fire because I know like Peyton and Sawyer would always pick the fire ones. So I didn't want to pick the same ones as everyone else.
Yep.
Good point. I don't know why, but I just do not have fond memories of Emerald, which is what we have. I don't like my memories of it. I don't like that game. Even though,
and it might even be the 2-year gap we have in between me and you. Like it just might be that little bit more time.
Yeah,
and you have
I have the best memories of Diamond and Pearl, but for some reason Emerald, I just don't like when I think about it and like I see pictures of it. Even though it's nostalgic to me, I don't like that game, and I think it might be because I don't like any of the starters. To be honest, I don't really like. I think Blaziken's cool, but I think the first one I ever chose, I started that game probably 4 times, like during Grid Kids and stuff. Like I just play it. I think the first one I chose was who's the grass type?
Trico.
Yeah, Trico. Yeah, Diamond is the game that really made me love Pokemon. Before that, it was
same for me.
Yeah. However, sorry, you go.
No, I was gonna say that is what I definitely remember growing up with you two, being a lot younger than me. Diamond and Pearl, man.
Piplup every time.
Nah, man.
Solid Pokemon, man.
Chimchar, man.
Well, I wanted to ask a question. So with all the games that you guys have played, like I'm very prone to doing this where I'll typically get a couple Pokemon from the new series, the new generation, but there's always a couple I always put into my team no matter what because I love them so much or they're powerful as can be. Do you guys have any of those? Is there a Pokemon that you have to have in your team no matter what?
I don't know, because sometimes when I play a new game, I feel like I need to play with the newer Mons, and I don't know if we want to get into this right now. I bet we could. But if my favorite Pokemon is in that game, I most likely will pick it up just because I love it. And it's sometimes harder to find. I can just tell you guys what my favorite Pokemon is right now. It's Haxorus.
Oh.
Because who doesn't like a dragon with a couple axes on the side of its mouth? It's amazing. I love it. It's fast as freaking hits like a truck. So, yeah. So if he's in a game, I usually pick him up first thing, like wherever I can. And I feel bad sometimes because sometimes I'll just forget that I like have anything else on my team until the new generations came out and there's fairy and you actually had to think with the dragon Pokemon. Because you don't have to, like in the older generations, if you had a dragon Pokemon, you win the game. That's just how it goes. It's that simple. Nothing hurts you and you hurt everything. So,
yep.
I don't know. But most of the time I feel like obligated to like look at and try to pick new favorites of each generation and try to play with those ones. I don't know about Carter and Sawyer, but yeah.
For me, I always like to go for a Gyarados. I like to get Magikarp to just slowly grind him until he turns into a Gyarados. That's always classic. But for me, I also like to have Gengar. I like to get Gengar on my team, or however you say it. I think it's Gengar, right? Yeah.
I say Gengar. Some people say Gengar, and that just doesn't feel right.
Oh, yeah. Every team, I mean, I'm serious. Every team has a Gyarados, no matter what. Every team.
Yep.
Magikarp was always there. Always.
He's always given.
Yeah.
Like, you can catch him with Pokeball.
You can spit in the water, and he jumps up at you.
Yeah.
So he was always on my team. And then later on, I can never say his name, but the Edgeless Slash. Yes. I love that thing. That thing is so sick. With the sword and the shield and the constantly changing. I love it.
Which one? Say his name again.
It's like Edgy Slash.
Edgy Slash. He's the sword shield looking thing. And when he's attacking, he transforms into the sword position, and then he'll defend and transform into the... Yeah. He's strong as crap, and I love him.
Gotcha.
But those two are typically... Because I've kind of advanced, too, with my my video game, where before I kind of went for how they looked and if I liked them, and now I'm mainly... Every single one of my Pokemon has to have a dual type. So I just cover the whole range of...
Gotcha. I feel like sometimes when I have dual types, though, I forget like that they have a second typing, and then they get destroyed because I don't switch them out the right times. So
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I always go for the single types because like then I can remember, okay, he's not gonna get wrecked.
Yep.
It's not a firefighting. I don't have to worry about psychic here. So, with me saying my favorite Pokemon, what are you guys' favorite Pokemon? Just let's get it out there.
Man, so my favorite...
If you have to sum it up to 3, I can throw 2 out there quick too. So, because a lot of people like I can't tell you my favorite, but I could tell you like my top 3. So, if you need to do that, go ahead.
No, I gotcha. So my favorite would have to be probably Darkrai.
Darkrai? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, I love my Bulbasaur. I love, Chikorita. They have a special place. Pichu is flipping adorable. But, man, if I had to choose one, it'd probably be Darkrai. I think
yeah.
He's one of the coolest looking things. And then that also goes in with the card game. And one of my favorite decks has 3 of those suckers in it, and he's awesome. So he's probably my favorite.
Gotcha.
Good choice.
How avidly do you play the card game now?
Oh, not as much anymore, honestly. We played a lot when my wife and I first got married, but once we picked up Magic, it kind of has gone to the waste, honestly.
Gotcha.
So I'll go. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like dragons are always sick. So I should have a dragon as my favorite Pokemon because I just think the type is cool. But I've always, to me, obviously the first region Charmander, Bulbasaur, and what's
Squirtle.
Sorry. Obviously, those guys are classic, vintage, but the combination of Totodile and Cyndaquil is Kanto region is my favorite region, and even though I haven't played as much as Diamond, I just love that game because I think those two are just beautiful. So I'm always torn, but I have to say I like Cyndaquil the best, and Totodile's sick as well. But that region gets me, man. I don't know why. But
Gotcha. Johto is sick.
yeah. Oh, it's Johto?
Yeah, Kanto's Gen 1.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's
Sorry.
Kanto then Johto.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah. Ooh.
For me, I definitely am a fan of Lugia. I think Lugia is my favorite legendary Pokemon. I'm also a big fan of Garchomp. I think he just looks the coolest. Plus, he's really hard in the Elite Four on Diamond. I think whenever I look up like Pokemon stuff, everyone talks about Garchomp for some reason on Diamond. And then, of course, I like the whole evolution of Piplup to Empoleon. It's just, I think it was like the first game I actually got to the third evolution on a starter, besides Ruby, because like I didn't really care about the third evolution of Trico. Didn't really stick with me at all. I just like Trico. Like if I went back, I would keep him from evolving. Yeah. But those are my three, I think. Definitely Lugia, Garchomp, and Piplup.
Perfect. I like it. I kind of want to add my next two too, because I feel like there are a couple Pokemon that people don't really like think of as like favorites, but it also includes like my favorite Evolution. I really like my second favorite Pokemon behind Haxorus is easily Jolteon. And then after that is Nidoking.
Oh, yeah.
I love Nidoking. And the main reason I love Nidoking is I never beat Kanto until I got home from my mission. So this was like 2016 when I beat Kanto for the first time. And I got a Nidoking. And it's so freaking diverse because you can teach it like any TM. So it had like Ice Beam, Surf, Earthquake, and Flamethrower on it. And it was just a beast. Oh no, it had Toxic, not Flamethrower. But like, still, just a beast of a Pokemon. And it instantly became one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I remember playing, man, I think I played, when I went back and just played with an emulator with Red and Blue, there was a very, very small chance of finding a Nidoran. Very, very small chance. And I would spend hours trying to get the Nidoran. I mean, hundreds of Sparrows and Spearow would pop up, but there was that small chance of a Nidoran, and I totally grinded that, and I would get him every time. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, by far my favorite.
So, I wanted to ask, I saw this, I just thought of this reading the questions. I thought it'd be interesting. We don't all have to answer it, but if you have something. So, what would be the scariest Pokemon to encounter in the real world?
Ooh, I got it.
You got it?
So there's a couple I thought of that I can think of like scariest in person would probably for me be Buzzhole. Have you guys seen him? He's just this totally
Buzzhole?
Look him up. Buzzhole. He's this bug-looking thing that's just beefed up to no end, and I just think he would mess you up if you saw him.
Oh yeah.
He's swole.
If you saw him in person, there's nothing.
Dude, looks like he has a freaking Desquito needle.
Oh yeah.
What the freak?
Awesome. He's pretty cool looking.
That is scary.
But I remember reading, because I like reading the cards and like the backstory on some, at one point in my life. And I remember the backstory of Frostlass. Do you guys know her? So it's an evolution of Snortrut. And the backstory of that Pokemon is, so basically a woman died on a mountaintop and with snow. And as she died, a part of her lingered on, and that's how she became who she is, Frostlass. And the way she eats is she eats frozen souls. So I thought that would be one of the most scariest things ever.
That's a pretty sick backstory.
Oh, it is. It's freaking awesome.
I didn't know Pokemon got that in depth.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
there are some creepy ones. Like,
Yeah.
I had to look up the name of this one, but I remember now. Drifloon.
Oh yeah.
Its description is that it. Let me just read it. It grabs the hands of small children and drags them away to the afterlife. So literally, like a child grabs this as like a balloon, because it's literally a balloon, and it just like gets carried off to death, basically. Like, goodbye. It also says in its description it dislikes heavy children, so I would have been fine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's plenty of creepy
Oh no.
things.
I feel like Haunter. I think that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Haunter would be pretty terrifying because he puts you to sleep and then eat your dreams,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's nothing you could do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's some pretty creepy ones out there. I think
staring
Glalie would be pretty creepy as well, because it's like
Yeah.
the big Majora's Mask moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looking in the eyes of a Ditto would be scary.
Is it a copy you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't Jinx has the attract one, right? So it's not necessarily scary, but it's the fact that I might have to bang it. Attracts me. That'd be scary, man.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely disgusting.
Where do we take that?
I don't know.
We'll just leave a pause there.
Shoot.
Oh, this is a good question. So we'll just jump away from what I just said. So you might not have an answer though, but I think it's interesting. So with your kids growing up in this Pokemon age, what difference have you seen between their fascination experience with it and your own? If you've seen anything different, because I know your kids love Pokemon as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, straight from the get-go, the get-go is so they didn't have the cards like I did. So I started with the cards.
Yep.
I had cards for a few years before I even touched a game. And so for me, seeing these creatures come to life off of these pieces of paper, I just remember being so, dumbfounded by it. It blew my mind. And my kids are never going to experience that. They've had the Pokemon TV series. They've had my cards to look at. They've had toys, thrown at them since day one. So their experience is that's what they know. They know Pokemon. It's everywhere. That's, and it's. I started thinking so they'll never experience what I felt when I first saw a Bulbasaur do a Vine Whip attack, and actually see him do it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see his body move, shake, and then see the
see pixels move across.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, that's big back then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
Well, and I wonder if like my experience is similar to your kids, because I feel like I was introduced to it more in like the movies and the anime and stuff before I even played the games. Like my brothers would play the games a lot, and they'd show me, and I was just too young to really understand what was going on, I feel like. But like watching the movie and watching all that, I think is where I got it. So I think I might be in the same boat as I didn't get to see these come to life. I got to like be able to be a part of this world that was on this screen already. And then I was in control. It wasn't me watching the destiny of it. If you know what I mean.
Definitely.
So I'm wondering if that's the same thing. What was that, sorry?
Me and Carter were having a pretty big discussion the other day about this, and it reminds me of this topic, kind of off Pokemon, but like, I feel like kids nowadays with gaming, I feel like we've all been pretty lucky to be able to see where gaming came from, and that we're able to fully appreciate how games are made and like where it's gone. But like kids who grew up and their first game was Fortnite, and not being able to experience like Super Mario 64, it's just a completely different experience than what we. So I feel like whenever we think about gaming, we always think about those old games and how they used to look and how they used to run, and we have this great appreciation for how great they are now. While it's just like we just have a completely different perspective on gaming than so much of the population of gaming now.
Well, I can tell you right now, there hasn't been a game in the past 10 years that I look back and go, oh yeah. I've never felt that way like I have when I was playing my first Pokemon or Mario Kart 64, Wave Race 64.
Yeah.
I can't think of one game in the past 10 years of me having those same feelings.
Gotcha. So that just brings a couple questions in my mind. Is like, what do you think like is the difference now, and then also, do you think that that's going to be the same for kids that are growing up now, but they're going to have different memories like Fortnite and stuff like that? Is it going to be like the same thing, or do you think it's going to be different? Because like we played games when we were younger, and we got to see them and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Is it going to be the same kind of nostalgia that they have? Was it because we were kids that made it that like amazing of a game?
Yeah.
Is it because we've grown up?
Well, the one thing that I can think of, well, specifically with me, is I remember our first system that we ever bought was a 64. And I was a little kid, and I just remember the progression. We just live in the day and age where graphics and everything, it's all pretty similar. You know what I mean? We have indie games and stuff, but we've, for the past 5 years, Warzone, Call of Duty have gotten a little better, but it's been pretty dang phenomenal on the way they look, And I feel like we kind of grew up in this time frame of seeing this, 8-bit turn into, what we have. It's just that progression of the systems that came out and the
exponential and during those time periods.
yes.
Like it literally blew our minds away from one console to the next, literally being 10 times better than the last one. But that doesn't happen. So yeah, It's a good point. Like, will these kids, or are they just gonna see it more as a linear thing? Like, oh, these same games been coming out and it looks pretty similar to each other. While for us, it was like a freaking rocket ship from Super Smash Bros. 64 to Melee.
Yeah. But like, is it going to be the same as like when we think of Pokemon back in the day? Or are they going to have the same nostalgia? I don't know. That's going to be an experiment for 15 years down the road. But
I feel these kids are playing for a different purpose, though. Honestly, I mean, I'm assuming some of these kids that play Fortnite, they'll have good memories, but they're playing on a completely different level than what I think we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
There was no competition besides Melee,
Yeah.
And even back then, that competition was
you against your friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
You against another person that didn't really know how to use joysticks. Yeah, I guess that's true. Because, like, I feel like gaming now is super sweaty, and we've talked about this a bunch, so we can get off this topic if we want to and get back to Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or we could just keep going. I don't care.
Whatever. I don't know. It's like, I wonder what the population of gaming is. Where they just want to be pro gamers instead of just for the love of games, For an escape. I think that'd be a very interesting study to run and see what the mindset is of kids now. So I feel like there's probably a very big population that is, wants to be a professional gamer and it's just all for the competition.
For sure.
And I think you can also see the industry going that way, where it's all just about these companies can see that video gaming is a way to make money. So they just put in a formula to try to make a game that can bring money to them. Whereas before it was more about these solo companies trying to make a video game because they love video games, I think that is just a problem as well. You see it so much. It's really annoying, but
for sure.
we can have another episode about this as well. But
I think we've talked about it quite a few times. I love talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's kind of stay on the same vein, though. What do you guys think makes Pokemon so good? And what do you see in the road to come? Because, like, I know we all have different like opinions and stuff on the road Pokemon's taking lately. Personally, I don't like it, but let's just focus on that. Like, what makes Pokemon a good game nowadays?
Well, I would like to ask you. So, what don't you like coming into the future?
So mainly the last game we played was Sword and Shield. It came out. I didn't like the game, like mainly at all. It gave me a sense of like rushed and really didn't really feel all that authentic. The only thing they added was Gigantamax and Dynamaxing, and it didn't feel like they're doing it for good reasons. It felt like a money grab to me. I don't know. And a lot of people would disagree with that. Like, I know a lot of people that love the game. But it just didn't feel right when I was playing it. It just felt really handholdy, and again, it is a child's game, but I feel like we're making children games way too easy.
yeah.
There needs to be a little bit of struggle on Route 1, fighting your first Pidgey. So yeah, that's my main gripes with it. Is it's too easy. It doesn't feel like a game anymore. It feels like I'm just walking through.
I mean, that's probably my biggest gripe with Nintendo in general. I love Nintendo. I grew up with it. That's my system. But there needs to be a pretty good line between what their audience, their kids or whatever, to the pro level. So I firmly believe there needs to be a line between there's a Switch and then a Switch Pro.
Mm-hmm.
You have games, you have more advanced stuff, more advanced Pokemon. I mean, they just need to cut into that boundary of just being a little more mature. Because a lot of these guys that are playing this Pokemon, they're not kids.
Yeah.
They're these guys that are 30-year-old that grew up with it, and they're the ones that are wanting to play it. They're the ones that are, striving to get the best they can out of it. But man, with me, yeah, Sword and Shield was rough. I love the way that they're going with the open concept world. Mm-hmm. I do like that. But can you really call that open concept? I mean, there's one little valley and you can walk around the valley. Okay.
Yeah, and it's the same Pokemon in the same places.
Yeah.
It's the same it's the same concept as you're stuck with this one big old route now.
Yep.
And you go to the certain area with the certain Pokemon and you catch those certain Pokemon. It isn't open area at all.
No. And I did love the way they did open up the world where you can actually see Pokemon. I loved that. I loved seeing a Caterpie and an Onix, and it actually looked like their sizes mattered.
For sure.
And I believe, so the new game that's coming out, Legend of Arceus or whatever, it kind of showed that, right? So one of my biggest gripes with Pokemon in general is there needs to be a fine line between wild battle Pokemon and when you're battling a trainer. So when you're battling a trainer, I get it. You throw out your Pokemon, you battle. Boom, boom, boom. But out in the wild, I wish it would actually seem like it was something real out in the wild. Like, where you can sneak up and just demolish the stupid thing if you catch it off guard, And it looked like...
if it catches you off guard, it can demolish you.
No, exactly.
Like, that'd be awesome.
And that was one of my favorite things about Sword and Shield was, like your typical MMO RPG, you kind of have their level above their head and how much health they have. And that's the one thing I loved about Sword and Shield was you saw a big old Snorlax or an Onix, but you had no idea how strong that sucker was. So you'd run up to it, go battle it, and realize that he was 80 level higher than you, and then you book it because you had no chance.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I loved that difference, that excitement of, oh crap, I ran into a Beedrill. Oh shoot, let's get the crap out of here. And I that's the one thing I want more is I want to actually a legit open world and not a follow a path. Oh, here's a plains, and now we'll go back onto a path. And it looks like Legend of Arceus is kind of going that way, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, and we talked about it when Nintendo Direct came out about it back in the day, and I'm kind of more on Carter's side now, giving it a couple months rest and rewatching the thing. Is it kind of look like crap?
Yeah.
Like the trailer, I'm not super excited for it. And this is a multi-million-dollar company. Like you'd expect that they'd put together something that looked amazing for their open world concept
alpha
game.
stage.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, this is an official announcement commercial trailer.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
What they need to do in that game is have a master mode, just like Breath of the Wild has its own master mode. Just make it crazy intense for people that want it to be that intense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's
a normal
true.
and a hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every Twitch stream or any kind of gameplay you see of these professional players, they're playing master mode. You don't see any of them playing the normal. That's what they want. They want the competition.
Yep.
And it's
Mhm.
hard.
If your Pokemon faints, it dies. Dead.
Yeah.
Like, well, Breath of the Wild I'd never played, but Master Mode because I'm not that good.
No,
but
it's hard.
Pokemon,
Man.
if it's a Sword and Shield kind of Pokemon, like a Master Mode to me can't get that much harder. Like, it will be like Gen 1, Gen 2, where it does kick your butt at times. Yeah. And that's what I want is to like find out, oh, I'm not as good as I am.
Yeah. Well, this is like your typical Pokemon game too. For the past 6 generations, for me, it's always been this way. I pick up the game, I pick my starter, I grind for a little bit to get the levels up, take on the first gym, grind a little bit more to get the levels up, evolve, and then after that point, you almost don't have to grind anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that continuous grinding throughout the whole game. Because by the time you're through your second stadium, everything's a little too easy. Honestly, if you're a couple levels ahead of them and those, elemental attacks or whatever they call them, those special ability attacks, you're kind of just wailing on them. And so at that point, when you get to the league and the Final Four or whatever, it's nothing.
Yeah, I want to be forced to use more items. I feel like the only items I used was the ether. Isn't that what gives you your moves back? And just super potions. That's all. And I just kept spamming the same surf or whatever over and over again.
Yep.
Well, and like when you do like competitive battling and stuff, you do use those items and they do matter. But like in the game, the game seems like the hassle to get to like the challenging part for a lot of people. Like I never battled anybody. I never taken the time to get good at it, but like I do watch on YouTube here and there. I dabble here and there of these people that like actually fight their teams against each other and like the strategies behind it, and it looks really cool. But you'll never get that in the Pokemon game because they don't want to make it hard for the child audience.
100%. I agree with you. I want to. How many times have you guys actually used Tail Whip in a battle?
Never.
And I'm telling these professional players or whatever, they're constantly using those abilities, those attacks that, get the other guys off their guard. They're important moves. They are. There's a reason they're there. But they just don't allow you to get to that point because it's too easy. You don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So yeah.
I do want to ask a question that's kind of
dumb.
dumb.
Do it, man.
So if you could bring one Pokemon into this world, then there's no like fighting. There's not like it's not like the most useful Pokemon, just the cutest one that you would have follow you around. Not the most useful one, like you would use it to fly around or surf, just to follow you around, just a cute little Pokemon. What would it be?
Pichu.
Pichu?
Oh yeah, 100%. Pichu.
The cutest.
Completely. He's the only one.
Doesn't need to be cute. Just one that you want to have follow you around.
But Pichu was my Super Smash Brothers. Pichu's mine. Pikachu, when melee, but 100% Pichu.
Do you still use Pikachu in the new Smash games?
No, I mainly use Pichu.
Oh, cool.
So flipping fast. So fast.
I'd be stuck between Shinx, Piplup, of course, and Mudkip. I like Mudkip.
Get little axolotl. I like how Pokemon, like, I feel like it introduced a lot of people to like different animals. Like, I never knew what an axolotl was before Pokemon. Like, who the freak knows what an axolotl is? But they're cute little buggers.
Are you telling me Mudkip's an axolotl? Because I think you're thinking of a different Pokemon.
Are you sure?
You're thinking
Axolotl.
of, like, what's his name? Wooks or something? Oh, what's his name?
Not Wooper. You're not talking about Wooper, are you?
Wooper,
No,
yeah.
Mudkip is based off an axolotl as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Wow,
think
isn't-
Wooper is as well.
Even Chansey might be one.
Ew, an axolotl is disgusting.
They're freaking cute, dude. What are you talking
I've never
about?
seen this thing. It's so creepy.
That's funny.
I think if I was going to bring a Pokemon from the Pokemon world to here as like a cool little pet and stuff, it'd probably be a Growlithe. Growlithe to the Arcanine.
Can't argue that.
Oh, my Clifford the Big Red Dog.
But okay, so if you had to, what was that?
I don't know. I was just say I just watched that movie called Togo, the dog movie.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
What's it called?
Togo.
Oh yeah, Togo. So it's that sled movie, and this guy. It's about when he's bringing the medicine through Alaska, and he has the sled dog race team, and his main dog, the lead dog, is named Togo. And after that, watch that movie, I'm obsessed with dogs. So maybe what's this dog right here? I don't know what this dog is, but I'll just be in this one. I'll put it on the chat. You guys can tell me which one this is.
Sounds good.
What's that left one?
Stoutland? Not Stoutland, but the one before it. Now I need to look it up.
Herdier.
Herdier, yep. That's it.
That boy. Take that boy.
Stoutland's
You wouldn't
its
want the
average.
first one? Lillipup?
No, I want the one on the left, the cute one.
The one that's on Carter's camera.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't show it to you.
No, you're good.
What were you saying, Calvin?
Oh, I can't remember.
You're talking to me about Growlithe, I think.
Oh, did everyone say what their favorite was?
Yeah.
Well, I want to know now. So, I would like to know what everyone's favorite Pokemon that they would have for a specific purpose. If you had to have one for, not just cute, not for.
Ditto.
I can think of so many things with that. I mean, that's a good one. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. That one's pretty dang on point.
I was thinking like a Machamp or something, just to help on the farm. Move stuff around. Pick me up.
Yeah,
But I would
probably
like a
have-
flying one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
probably Lugia. Honestly, Charizard Lugia would
Ooh,
be fun.
Dragonite. Dragonite's cute. I wouldn't be scared to be on him or get stabbed by the scales or anything. And isn't it like really smart? What we go?
Probably.
Dragon Tails, man.
Dragon Tails.
I always think of Dragon Tails.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, look at Dragonite. So freaking cute. Is there a Pokemon that can do surf and fly? Because I'll do that one.
Like, why would you need to surf if you could fly over the water?
Right. I'm an idiot.
Like, I
Have
think
us relax, gigantic like pillow. Those huge, like what do you call them? The beanbag pillows, beanbag
Yeah.
things.
Nice. Like, I can only think of like the flying being super like awesome to have. And I'd want like a dope like bird Pokemon. I think I'd go with like Braviary. Get the America bird in there.
Geoto.
I just had a good one.
Hmm.
Abra or Mewtwo? Because can't they teleport? And could they teleport me with them? That's better than flying. I'll take that.
I always wonder what like the limits are. Can they like just teleport to the other side of the world like instantly? Like, or is it like I can teleport out of like situations, so I can teleport like 50 feet away? Because if they
That's
can
the
teleport
question.
like to the other side of the world, then yes, I would like an Alakazam, like 100%.
Yeah.
Alakazams have 5,000 IQ and they can teleport and have
Yeah, dude.
telekinetic powers.
Be so easy to
telepathic
cheat.
For some reason, whenever I think of Alakazam, I always think of you, Calvin. Did you used to have a fancy? Did you used to like those?
Oh yeah.
Right, you did, right? Yeah.
Alakazam was always on my team.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
It
which,
always.
when I took
it
that
always-
test, I was Alakazam. It told me
Oh shoot.
mine was Alakazam.
You ruined the game, dude.
Dang.
Oh, sorry, dude.
All right, hold on. So we're gonna play a little game here. I guess we're just gonna be me and Colin. Hey, Colin, text me in
Right.
the host chat where your Pokemon is.
I still
Right.
want to know the questions though, Carter.
The questions that asked
Or
me?
the clues that you would give me. I want to know that.
Oh, I was supposed to give you clues. Okay.
Okay.
You put yours too.
Are they all any Pokemon in all the generations, or is it specifically?
There was like only 50 from like the classics.
okay.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's the first generation.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
So-
I think they're only final evolutions too, so
Okay. So this is actually gonna be hard because I think we both take the shape of our Pokemon. So we got the two Pokemon between me and Colin is Golem and Gengar. Who's who?
Wait, you're saying that's your two?
That's
yeah,
the two.
between
Which
me and
one is?
Sawyer.
Which one's which?
I would say Golem is Colin.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Gengar and then Alakazam.
Have you ever taken a test like that, Calvin?
I have. I know I have. I just don't.
You don't remember yet.
No.
I could see you being a Venusaur.
I would gladly take that.
I just know one of your favorites is Bulbasaur, so I could easily see it.
My gosh. I had such a weird obsession with that stupid Pokemon. And it's pointless. It's like one of the worst starters you can have. Seriously.
I mean, like beginning of the game, like
Well,
you said.
Nowadays it's almost.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yes, the first generation stuff,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. But
So you asked what questions do we ask? Do we have to answer? They were like what choices would you make? So like if you're gonna share news, what would you share? And then like what do you value? What's your dream
Things like
vacation?
that. Yeah.
oh, okay, I got you.
So they're actually pretty. This is the playnintendo.com version.
Gotcha.
So it's the most official one, even though it's kind of short. and
It's
lame.
still just a personality test that doesn't really mean anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was way more complex than the mystery dungeon questions.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that I can't choose my Pokemon in that game, man. I would go through that
You would.
probably 20 times until I think I was trying to get Cubone for some reason because he's cute, but literally it's so annoying. Just let me choose if I don't like the Pokemon.
You could look up online and it would tell you which
Which answers
questions
to do.
answer.
Yep.
I wasn't that smart back then.
The internet was just a baby back then.
Yeah. I won't forget. It was like I would see Peyton on the internet back when I was a kid. I remember asking him like a day after, like, dude, how do I get on the internet? And he wouldn't tell me, and I just I couldn't figure it out. Just click on Google, probably Safari or something. I thought it was like some elaborate thing to get the internet up. Alrighty. Is there anything else? Anyone wants to ask?
I'm good. First things first, I think the last question that needs to be answered, what's the best generation?
Oh, first by far.
First.
That's one of my biggest gripes nowadays, honestly. It just seems like, and there's 150, right, that came out with the first one,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how many new ones came out the last one? Do you know?
With
Does
Sword and
anyone know
Shield? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's probably like 84 or 100 or something like that.
Okay. No.
Like somewhere in that range. The only game that really has done like a full set of new Pokemon was Black and White. And in the first Black and White, you couldn't even catch Pokemon from the older generations. It was just that 150.
Oh,
The Black and White 2 had more than just their Pokedex in it.
Nice.
But
gotcha.
Other than that, it's usually 100 or less is
Yeah.
what they add.
Yeah. Now, first generation for me,
Gotcha.
by far.
I'd have to say third or fourth, but that's just because nostalgia reasons. First generation solid 100%. Third is just my life. It's where I live. I want to live in Hoenn. All right.
I already kind of said it with my favorite Pokemon, but Johto,
Yeah.
Cubone, Sandshrew, Nidoran, my boys Cyndaquil and Totodile. Woo! So I don't know why that game hypes me up.
No, Generation 4 is what I'm closest to by far.
Generation
Sure.
4, what was that? Diamond Pearl, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sinnoh.
So Johto is a Gen 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Johto, in Gen 2, you can play Johto, and then after you beat that Elite Four, you can go to Kanto to beat their Elite Four.
Yeah.
That's the coolest. Like, I feel like they're planning on like quitting there because it's like, oh, it's so big that we're gonna have both regions in it, and then there's like, nope, everybody loves it. Let's make a third game.
Yeah.
All right. Good to go.
Yep.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being on, Kalvin. It was super fun to talk to you again.
Heck yeah, no problem.
Sweet. Again, thanks, guys. Like always, please subscribe, do all that stuff. Come join our Discord. We'd love to talk with you and all the things like that. That being said, deuces.
See you next week.
Bless you.